Okay, welcome everybody to the next episode of the Otaku Summit podcast. This is episode 26. We have done 26 of these. And I am not tired of y'all yet. That is amazing in so many ways. So many ways. But yes. We are back. And I am one of your hosts, Devon, aka Kuma, with Omar, and I am not saying it.
That's not my name.
I'm not saying your name.
It is your name.
You do this every podcast. I am not saying it. No.
I am Bruce Wayne.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Accept reality.
We also have our resident ghost of the pod. You know us, the one and only April as well. You hear a voice just trickling around. Yes. You are just trickling around.
I promise I'll be back. I promise I'll be on camera.
She promises this every week.
Every week something happens to me.
Just a note. I hope there's a record being kept. She promises this every week.
For the past 2 weeks, it was COVID.
April,
and this week is this week it's food poisoning.
April, I just want the most random things happening.
2022.
To all our listeners and watchers, the most random things happening. April, I am just very content and just making you just the resident ghost. Like it's fine. I'm accepted that.
I was just gonna say that would be such a funny gag if like every week there's something wrong.
I'm okay with that. Like even when you're in studio, like you can be off in the side. You can be in the studio, but it's like just your voice is just there. I'm okay with that.
As the weeks go on, the excuses get more and more ridiculous. And so
without fail.
Don't get me tempted. And
for everyone wondering who the unfamiliar voice that you just heard just now is, we have a guest on the podcast today. And not only that, she is the first official guest of our podcast.
Woohoo!
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So we are very honored to have you here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about SJ, who is a professional cosplayer over here in the Bahamas. Welcome, SJ. Welcome, and thank you for coming on the pod. We appreciate it so much.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here and so thankful for the opportunity to speak with you guys today at Otaku Summit.
Yes. We're happy
Welcome.
to have you because we and if you haven't guessed already, yes, we will be talking about a lot of cosplaying over here, a big part of the anime community. And
y'all just had a big event too.
They did. Yeah. Which I went to. It was really, really cool. It was really, really cool. It was my first time back in a while. Yeah, so I came right as the cosplay competition started. And can I say, kudos to a lot of the cosplayers. Like really, they were really, really well done. Especially the category cosplayer. Yo, dude had the legit. If you watch One Piece and you know the character, he had the legit tattoo on his left shoulder. I was like,
what?
Oh wow!
Go ahead. That's like, fam. Go ahead. Go ahead. Like that's dedication.
That is Steven. He's from Freeport. He
really
comes over for the event almost every month.
Oh, that's cool.
And he always blows it out of the water. Like he's insanely talented.
He is.
One of the things that I appreciate about him too is he uses like duct tape and cardboard and still make.
I noticed. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Amazing pieces. Like it shows that you don't need expensive materials. You don't need anything elaborate to start cosplaying. If you really have that drive and that desire, you can use duct tape. You can use cardboard. You can use the same thing Junkanoo's use.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean that because I had always felt I had always felt like it was creating a cosplay is like you just needed like this insane talent. Like one of the animes we currently watch is centered around a girl who loves to cosplay, but she can't make her own costume. So she meets a boy who can sew. he was so us and so together. So I was like, I always was like, oh my god, like I have the opportunity to see and down to make these huge pieces or like this huge imagination. To be just like, no, dude, like legit had all the pieces down to the shoes with like the cowboy boots, it has like the stars on them. Like, yo, this dude is legit. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And also, kudos to the Brooke. Kudos to the Brooke. Even though it was her first time, she didn't know the character, but that's fine.
Wait,
not
is that the one with the tattoo? The painting, the face painting.
Yes.
Yes.
The face painting.
The reason I say kudos is
it.
because one, her laugh was perfect. I'd have to admit, the laugh was. When I heard the laugh, I was like, wait, what? And the theatrics, they played the shanty, his shanty. I'm like, all right, cool. All right. I can live with this. I can live with this. That was dope. That was dope. And everyone else who was there.
That's Ringo. We wanted to beat her up because in the chat,
whoa, so violent.
She was talking. We have a cosplay chat that we just talk shop on, and naturally they all talk about like what they're doing for the competition. So she was saying that please don't say anything if her costume is quote unquote shabby, and then she pull up like that, and I was like, miss. I'm gonna need you to not downplay yourself ever again. And this time, like she won best in show, and she's like, this isn't even how I want it. And I'm like, that's part of cosplaying though. Like, especially if you make your own stuff, most of the time it doesn't come out the way that you want it to, but you learn by doing and making it better. That's the only way that you learn. And like a lot of people don't understand that, but the more that you judge and critique yourself, and I think we're all our own worst critics at this point. But at the same time, it's like, I really get like hurt in my heart from hearing them like downplay themselves, because it's like, y'all are amazing. Y'all motivate me to do better and give more to this community that I've helped build.
Right.
Yeah, it was dope. It was definitely dope to be able to use the resources she had. Like, even if it may not have been like the perfect costume or the perfect cosplay, like I feel like she still did a great job with it. And like I said, especially being the character, I was like, right now, I was biased. I kind of want to category to it.
That's where she really excels, because that's the great thing about cosplay is anyone can do it. You do it how you feel comfortable. You don't have to make your own costume. You can buy your costumes. If you're really good at like performing or becoming that character, that can be your niche. If you're really good at coming up with costumes and making it from scrap materials, that could be your niche. If you're the type of person that's really good with makeup, that could be your niche. It just depends on what you want to bring to that character or that cosplay. That's why I love this industry or hobby, whatever you want to call it. That's why I love it so much, because really you are what makes your cosplay great. You are what you bring to that character.
Fun fact, before we move on a bit, the last time I came, it was during the Halloween season, but that was not the last one. The one prior, before COVID and everything.
At the Dundas.
Yes.
Yes.
Was that the Dundas? Was it?
Yes.
No, it was at the Scouts center.
That wasn't Halloween.
That wasn't Halloween?
That was like mid-July. That was like, I remember the one that you're talking about, but that wasn't Halloween. We didn't have a Halloween one there.
Okay. But I remember I had dressed for Spider-Man there, and this is when I first knew how serious you were about cosplay. I had no intention of being in a competition. None whatsoever. So I'm just there. So as Jay walks up to me, it's like, oh, are you in on the competition? I was like, no, I don't know. Okay, no, you're in a competition. I was like, and she writes, I was like, wait. I guess I am. Okay, I'll do it. But here's why I had reserved outside of just doing it because I wasn't used to it. I kind of felt it wasn't fair for me to be in it because my costume was bought and it wasn't made. So that's also the thing about with cosplay. Like I kind of felt like Even though
That's
I don't like
actually one of my questions.
yeah.
So
I wanted to know,
Mhm.
what is the opinion of the cosplayers over here between buying your cosplay and actually making it yourself?
That's a good
so
question.
here's the honest truth.
Good question.
Even in competitions away, there are some competitions that allow you to enter as a bought costume, because it doesn't at the end of the day, that cosplay is not just about the costume itself, it's also
Mhm.
about how you play that character, what you
True.
bring to it, like I was saying. So
Mhm.
for me, it was very important to make cosplay as accessible to people as possible here, because it's something that we're only just getting into locally. The
Fair.
Right.
humans
Mhm.
have been cosplaying for a while abroad, but
Mhm.
here
Mm.
I wanted it to make it as accessible for everyone as possible, especially for people who don't have necessarily sewing skills. I didn't start out sewing or making my costumes. I bought my costumes.
Mhm.
I've only just
Mm.
started getting into making my own
Wow.
costumes.
Okay.
And the
Cool.
important thing that any cosplayer will tell you, including professional, amateur, international, whatever you can call them, cosplay is for everyone.
Agreed. Agreed.
Mhm.
Agreed. You're right.
So
Mhm.
for me, that's why I sort of changed up the rules a bit to where I have now the popular vote is for people who bought their costumes.
Okay.
Mm,
So
I did notice that. I kind of did
that is
notice that
your
you got two
opportunity
players.
to showcase your stage presence, your
Mhm.
makeup ability, your ability to act as that character and have fun with it. If you can command the stage and you can get the audience on your side, you win.
That's true.
Especially styling,
It
all of
is.
that
It
comes
is.
into play. There's so many little things that go into cosplay. It's not just about did you make it or not.
Mhm. Okay.
Where yeah, and that
That-
really does
Mhm.
get a lot more people into
Yeah.
it, to buy in, to more comfortable with doing it. Okay, that's
'Cause
definitely fair.
I think Javon, I think I still gonna buy the Mikey costume from Tokyo Revengers.
Oh,
Ew.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
I
last
think I
year
still gonna get there.
Yeah, last year we had well, at least we wanted to. We didn't we got to do it, but for Halloween we wanted to dress up on the podcast. So we had like different ideas going around. I'm still gonna do mine, but I'm not gonna say it because I think it's gonna be really cool when I do it on the
Yeah, I
podcast.
think
It's
like
gonna be fun. Especially after
Okay.
this recent set of season of anime. It's gonna be
Okay.
funnier because of my
All
yeah.
regular
right.
show. But I won't say this. I just think it's gonna be funny just doing it on the podcast.
I think the lesson that we learned, I know the lesson that I learned last year is that or you have to order costumes like like
Oh yeah.
cosplay way in advance.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It's a constant struggle.
Yeah.
Um, especially for someone like me who I'm the cosplay guest at the Geek Out every month. So as much as we tell people the theme is not mandatory, like you don't have to come as the theme,
Mhm.
professionally, I feel like I should be in line with the theme as much as possible. So it's like, okay, what's the theme so that I can get the cosplay here in time? Funny story. I've had people before like message me before and say the day before the event that they would like for me
No.
to appear in a certain costume that's very niche, and I'm like, how
Oh.
sway
How?
would you like me to get that here in less than 24 hours?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen some costumes, like some. No, I don't know why I keep calling them costumes. Like I see some cosplay outfits that take like up to like a month sometime to
Yeah,
come for
depending
shipment.
on
It's
where you
like
get
wow.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, I can see, I can definitely see how that would be here this video. You have to definitely know what you want to do prior. Like, for me, is one cosplay in particular I always want to do, and that's that would be not that shot. Red Hood. I've always wanted to do red. That's my dream cosplay. Red is my
I
dream
have
cosplay.
a Red Hood helmet.
Oh,
I'm
Stop
actually
it!
yeah. You
Stop
want to
it!
see?
You
You
have
want me to
to.
get
You
it?
have to. Now
yeah.
you have to. You
Yeah.
have to get it now.
Yeah. Please.
It's mandatory. You have to get it.
That's so
This
cool.
is wild.
That's very wild.
That's crazy. That is definitely crazy. Like that. I wonder which one she has. Because
Omar,
it's two. It's like the
Omar,
original one,
do your
and then
phone to horizontal.
I
yeah.
know.
There we go.
There you go.
Let's see what's up.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
Oh
This
my
That's
god!
good.
cosplay I've been keeping secret for a while. I'm gonna
Really?
do an event Red Hood sometime soon.
On the Geek
Ooh.
Out?
Maybe not the geek out. But I do a lot of things. So
Okay.
I'm also an airtime creator currently. It is an app that is basically a live streaming app, but with like I could have you guys on stage with me. I could have whoever I want, up to
Oh.
like 10 people on stage with me. So my friends and I do a segment called TikTok Tuesday and TikTok Thursday. It's Mutant
Mhm.
Blue. You may have heard of her. She's a very well-known cosplayer, and we basically create content for TikTok on airtime, so people get to watch us like put on the makeup, get into character, and do content creation videos in cosplay.
That's very
Oh.
cool.
Oh,
This
that's
is
so
probably
cool.
gonna be one of those segments.
And
'Cause
how
I
often
do-
do you do this?
Ooh.
Sorry.
How often do you do the segment again?
So Mutant Glue does TikTok Tuesdays. I'm usually on, but I more moderate her stream. And
Okay.
then TikTok Thursday I do. And sometimes she joins, sometimes she moderates. It just
Okay.
depends.
Okay. Now I have to.
So every Thursday.
Okay, I'll have to look out for that. If you're doing it right,
Yeah, I gotta
that.
look out for that too.
Yeah, that's always when my first thought when I first want to say, okay, I'm going to dress up this time. I'm going to do it. But what should I be? What's the easiest thing for me? And it's going to lead into another question. I was like, oh, got it, Red Hood. I can do that. I can do that. I can pull that off. So, but that leads me into another question. Cosplayers, like, what is your opinion? What's your take? And I know some people may feel as though they may look at a cosplay or they may look at a character and say, well, I can't pull that off, or maybe I'm not the right feature, hey, skill or whatever to do a certain cosplay. Like, what are your feelings on that? Like when people have those kind of thoughts when it comes to cosplaying.
I'm of the opinion, sort of what I said earlier, anyone can cosplay and you can cosplay whoever you want. So long as you're not being disrespectful and doing anything like blackface or anything racially charged,
Mhm.
you should be able to be whoever you want. That is how I was introduced to the community, and that is how I wanted the Bahamian cosplay community to be. So I'm very pro, do whatever you want so long as you're comfortable with it. And that is the thing, is like you have to really kind of listen to people when they say these things. There's a difference between someone not feeling like confident and somebody who's like, I'm just not comfortable doing that. So if you're not comfortable with something, don't force yourself to do that for an audience or because you feel like you have to. There are ways to make characters comfortable for you. And then there's just, oh, I don't feel confident enough. I can help you feel confident enough. I'll be your hype woman. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference, and I try to be very respectful of that because some people are not comfortable doing, like I'm personally not comfortable doing showing a lot of skin. So I do some, like I don't mind showing my legs, I don't mind showing some portions, but it's like there are some cosplays I'm just not doing because they're not comfortable for me. But I can also find ways to make those characters comfortable for me by adjusting things. You don't have to be 100% screen accurate with it. It's whatever you want to do.
Right.
Fair. So what you're saying is I don't have to reach my fitness goals to cosplay as Inosuke.
You do not.
That's what you're saying. Okay, bet.
So
All
long
right.
as you're comfortable in your own skin.
That's all I had to hear. But let's backtrack a bit now. Because I'm very interested to know, how did you get into cosplaying? Because prior to the pod, and you guys got here, SJ was saying that she used to work with animals a lot, dogs and dolphins. So when did cosplaying start to become more of a thing for you, and what kind of got you into taking that leap over to say, like, I want to do cosplay, I want to be a professional cosplayer?
So funny story. I've been a professional cosplayer for a while. I became a full-time professional content creator / cosplayer this year. That was my leap.
Nice.
Nice.
However, so in terms of when cosplay became a thing for me, I've always wanted to cosplay. I was raised in the 90s. So when the Bahamas got access to like home computers and internet, that is when I became aware of what cosplay was. And I always, like 12 years old, I was like, I want to do that. And
Okay.
it was always something that I was like, I knew I wanted to do, but I didn't feel like I ever would get to because it would require going away to a con. That's what I thought. That was my insecurity.
Which is fair at that time. Yeah.
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 And so I grew up in that whole era where watching anime is weird and
Oh yeah,
you get made fun
It
of
was there.
for being into certain things. And I'm just like, there's no way that, like, again, I would have to go away to a con to do it. And then the Marvel movies became incredibly popular.
Yep.
And then Black Panther came out and everyone went to the theater in black
Dressing up.
and
Right.
African print. And I was like, y'all are closet cosplaying. That's what you're doing.
It's true. No, it's so true.
And I was like, holy, like, I think we can cosplay here now. Like, I think it would be accepted. It's like, I want to do this so bad and I want to make it a brand. I want to make it something that people feel like they can do, because I felt like a lot of people wanted to and just didn't feel comfortable enough to do so outside of like Halloween. And I was like, I want to do it. And I want to create a community here. And I did.
You absolutely did, because it's definitely gotten much more and more popular and accepted, as well as anime in itself, especially here. And that's kind of why I wanted to have this discussion too, because anime here is starting to like expand and expand and expand. Even on the show before, we've talked about even like with shows like Attack on Titan that even transcends past anime. So people who may have never like watched anime before or have had interest in anime, you see this show and it's like, oh, what is this? Like, I have to watch this. Like, this is amazing, and then they get into the genre. So, and more people have like, well, could you recommend some anime to me? So yeah, it's definitely getting. So with that comes, it's like, well, I'm dressing up. So when the movie comes around, it's like, all right, we have to go to dress. Because I was even gonna say, even something saying like, it seems something as simple as, okay, Jujutsu Kaisen movie is coming out. I'm gonna get a shirt. Like,
I know.
I'm going to watch this movie. So, like you said, you're constantly cosplaying,
Yeah.
and so it's becoming more and more of a thing, and it's really interesting to see.
What I find interesting is people who don't get cosplay at all, but will like wear their favorite sports person's jersey.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing the same thing. It's really not that different. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, even to go as far as saying, like, even on Halloween, like, people get so excited to dress up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different. It's just not on a specific day. You can still do it if you want to go and dress up as a character. You can go and dress up a character and meet somewhere and just take photos and just hang out and have a good time. Because it was really interesting to see just how many people, even though they may have not participated in the cosplay competition, just to see how many people are actually just dressed up.
Oh my god! Did you see the Nami? The second there were two Namis there.
Yes, there were two Namis, which was
cosplay
cool.
competition, and one wasn't. And I begged her to join the cosplay competition, as is my way. Yes. And she had this immaculate styling, and she was like so shy, but apparently she is. And I was just like, please join the competition. I feel like you would win. But like she was amazing. I love when people show up in cosplay. Like that was the big thing for me, is when people started to show up to the Geek Out, which I also feel like I need to say this. I had a lot of help in building this community, and part of that was my partnership with the Geek Out, which is not mine, because a lot of people are under the impression.
You're usually the person they see.
Yeah.
And they assume that it is. It's not. If you saw the very lovely Luffy cosplayer, yes, that is Ashley Adderley. She is the founder and runner of the Geek Out. She She is amazing. She is basically a one-woman army, and she puts on this event the last Sunday of every month without fail, unless, you know, COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
And she helped me a lot to not only establish my name, but also help build this wonderful community that we have. I also had help from Justin and PG of Homemade Heroes Universe. They do skits and they often like use our cosplayers. And then there's Kadish Colley, who I consider my co-founder of
Finish! I
Yeah.
knew this. I was for a very long time. I was happy to see this. I haven't seen this in forever. I always tell him like, I love you, Luffy costume. I love you, Luffy cosplay. Sorry, I love you, Luffy. Like it's like
he was the first person that I collaborated with.
Yeah, I remember.
He's just such a cool guy.
He is. He definitely is. Without a doubt. But yeah, so now let me ask, what would you consider to be your favorite cosplays that you've done?
That I've done.
Yeah, I've seen you. Okay, I've seen you've done a lot. So let's narrow it down to just like your anime related cosplays. Hopefully that helps.
Zoro is definitely probably my favorite anime
the one you did.
I've done.
Yes, I saw your post on Instagram. It's very nice.
Thank you.
It was without a doubt.
The last time I went to the Geek Out, it was it had to have been 2019 maybe, and I remember this because Stan had his manga that he brought out, and I remember that you cosplayed as a character from that manga, and I thought that was
that's
very
cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
I was very thankful
very
for
cool.
that, because one of the main things for me with the cosplay is I wanted to collaborate with as many Bahamian creators as possible. Because if we don't show that we're proud of our own creations, nobody's ever going to take us seriously. And Stan is one of the people that like you can see like he takes his work very seriously. And I just want to support as many Bahamian artists as possible, because we stand something like there's no reason we shouldn't be supporting one another.
Definitely.
You usually have like a lot of artists and creators out to Giga, what I always appreciate it. Oh, my wedding graphic is just like, I could not get change for anything. there was a handcrafted Pokeball, a crocheted Pokeball that I wanted so bad.
That was probably Rachel.
I wanted
Rachel.
so badly, but I couldn't. And it was $8. I only had 10.
But
I know, right? I was really gonna bring it today and just plop it right on. It's like, I have a Pokeball. Hopefully.
Next time, Jamal. Next time.
Hopefully. So what would you consider to have been the biggest challenge here with you for cosplaying and trying to grow the community here?
Perception. I'm gonna say this, like I'm extremely thankful that the reception that I got for it was overwhelmingly positive. Like people who did not get it, they still kind of were like, oh, that's pretty cool for the most part.
Okay.
You always have people who just want to drag you down, and
There's that. It comes with this because it's like it's not the usual thing to say, but that's why I like this so much, because it's gradually becoming more and more, especially like I said, mentioned earlier with movies and stuff. You guys are out to fusion, so it's like.
Well, that's part of what I was going to say. Is the challenges is getting corporations to take you seriously as someone to be monetized and not just used for like
free advertisement.
Understand that in this day and age, like as a content creator, you can't just not. You have to respect people, and when they tell you like, I'm usually paid for this service, like
right,
you know, which is nothing to say against fusion specifically. It's just a lot of corporations don't take you seriously, and
Yeah.
I'll tell people I'm a professional cosplayer, and they're like, I didn't even realize that was a thing. I'm like, well, in this day and age, you have to, if you want something bad enough, you have to make it a thing.
Yeah.
Very true. Very, very true. Very true. But I mean, if they really wanted to use you and they did their research, they would know that it's in fact the thing, because like you said, there are cons for it.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
people that get paid for it.
They do. And that's another thing, because so many people like are trying to like tell us like, oh, you should have international cosplayers come down to your con. I'm like, who's going to pay them?
Yeah.
You have to pay to fly
Are
them
you-
in, pay for their
Are
room,
you offering to pay for their plane ticket?
but you won't pay your local.
Exactly, like you're
and just for being at your con. Like, these are
legit,
things that they're used to getting over there. If a con invites you, they're paying for your accommodations, or they're giving you a free accommodation, and they either paying you for your time, or they're giving you a booth to sell your merch at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that? Because personally, right now, my pockets are a little slim. It's in the works, because I mean, 242 Cosplayer Nation is my brand, and I run the cosplay section of the Geek Out, and we always intended for it to be a big scale con one day. And so it is in the works. We do have people we're talking with, but I hate when people try to just rush you on something, and it's like,
things take time.
Stuff takes time.
To build. You got to build relationships with people, and that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to make people see us as serious, not joking.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys are definitely on a good path of doing that, because like you said, Geek Out is a thing. Like funny enough, I met someone who goes to Geek Out and they don't necessarily watch anime, but they just love.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was very interesting. I was shocked. That's
the funny thing for me is people assume that it's just anime, but we have
no, it's not.
There's so many people at the Geek Out that don't necessarily watch anime. They're more gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Siobhan, I remember you saying there was a Star Trek cosplayer there.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I thought it was very interesting.
Her name is Nika. She was Ahura. I loved it because she's not technically from One Piece, but she still belongs on a ship.
But I did like her equity.
True.
I asked you right.
Loopholes.
And like I always tell people, the theme is a suggestion. You don't have to come in the theme. I actually like when people don't come in the theme, because it's more interesting to see like what you decided to come out as.
Yeah, because that's interesting, because I remember the next theme. The theme for the next one is Mojo Shoujo, which at first I thought it was just Mojo Jojo, and I was like, this is gonna be interesting, like a bunch of Mojo Jojo.
Wait, you said Mojo Shoujo?
Yes, you're right. It's Mojo Shoujo.
I would love it if someone someone cosplays as Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls.
Someone needs to.
I'm sure somebody will.
Someone has to.
I'm sure
Because
no,
someone has to cosplay as the thugs that cosplayed at the Powerpuff Girls. Please, I beg you.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That would be dope.
Basically, the Powerpuff Girls mixed with shoujo, which is I thought.
So that at least from my understanding, that's Ashley's brainchild. So I'm interested to see what people are gonna do.
I'm interested as well, just to see what the concept they come up with for that. But yes, definitely someone has to do it. And the gangrene gang, someone like, oh my gosh, there's so many things you can do.
I want someone to come as him.
Ooh, yes.
Yo.
Yes. Yes.
I want someone to come as him.
I love him. Him is one of my favorite villains from the Powerpuff Girls.
They have to speak like them the entire night. I think that there's no middle ground with that. There's no middle ground with that.
They have, and like their vocal range have to be the same as him. So
Yes,
like him just have that high voice, and then him gets angry, his voice gets deep.
I'm accepting nothing less. But I did when I heard it saying, I could probably do a good rowdy puff boy. I could get a hat, get this could work. I can see it. But it's definitely gonna be interesting. I would like to also like to see someone mix like the Powerpuff Girls and the shoujo anime. So it's like
that's what I would like.
Powerpuff Girls in basket.
because personally, my favorite cosplays are gender bends and fusion cosplays. Like when you see like there's a famous one of like Midoriya and Spider-Man mixed. I love that
Oh,
cosplay so
that'd
much.
be
I
Yeah,
love
nice.
when people
yeah.
take an element from a character, another element from a character, and mix them together and make it something that's their own. I think
Yes.
that's
That's
very
dope.
cool.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, because I think I saw one with Iron Man. I don't know for whom though. Once it was mixed together. I just can't remember which anime
I
it was.
think I know exactly what you mean. I I
I
saw it. I saw it
uh,
on Twitter before. I can't remember what it was.
I did as
Oh,
well. I did as well. But the My Hero gender band is always fun to see, in my opinion. In my
I
opinion.
need to see that. I need to see that like now. That
Yeah,
sounds
Deku,
I like to
Bakugo,
amazing.
see
Todoroki.
a good gender bend Bakugo.
You
I've
would
done
say
one.
that.
I'm not
She
sure.
has. I see it.
Oh
She has.
really?
You see
Ah,
this?
Oh.
yeah.
I've done a gender bend Bakugo. I'm not sure it was the best, but I've seen some really good ones, so I
It
can
was.
definitely send
And
them to
then
you.
Kevi was Todoroki, which is what was really
Yes,
Yes.
cool.
yes, she
I
was.
enjoyed that. She was really
Mhm.
Todoroki. I've seen Minyata of Gender Band as well, which is very cool.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
I've seen like literally every character you
That's
can think of. I've
interesting.
seen a gender bend of it.
That's always cool. That's yeah. So
That's what's up.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to like I said the Mojo Shoujo Theo. I feel like it's gonna be like hilariously fun. It's
Yeah.
hilariously
I hope
fun.
so. I hope so. I think it'll be cool.
It will. It definitely, yeah, definitely. So okay, so I'm interested to know, SJ, what are some of your, you mentioned, what are some of your favorite animes? Like, what are you mostly interested in
Yeah,
anime?
that's
I'm
what I want to
so
do.
I'm so old school.
Which is fine.
I'm so
That's
old school.
fine.
Like I haven't
That's fine.
seen
Yeah.
almost any of the newer animes, and I'm
Uh-huh.
slowly starting to get like into them, but
Okay.
I haven't delved into much of the newer animes except for My Hero.
Right.
So old school wise, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Battle Angel Alita,
Hey.
um,
Mm.
Hey. Okay.
Outlaw Star, Tenchi
Mm.
Muyo, Rurouni
Tenchi.
Kenshin.
Right.
Those were like my staples. I was
Nah.
definitely a tune-up kid.
So same. So what?
Trigun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Try
Dragon
as
Ball.
well. Yeah.
Ooh.
Trigun.
Vasta Stampede.
Oh,
That's pretty cool. A Vasta.
I know this is an anime, but I'm on your Instagram looking for your Bakugo cosplay, and I came across your Castile cosplay, and I love it. I
I
know
love
I love Supernatural.
Supernatural.
That's my show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, I
That's
did.
pretty cool. That was
Yeah, I
definitely.
gotta look at your
She's done a
Instagram
lot.
after this then.
Speaking of shit, she's done a lot. Like it's a lot of cool cosplays on there that she's done. I must say.
I was
That's why I
shocked.
kind of had to narrow it down to like just anime because it's like
Yeah.
expression.
I was shocked that so many people liked my Castiel. And it's
It's
almost become
Oh,
gorgeous.
really?
a lot of people know me for that cosplay specifically, and it's like, oh, I didn't expect that. And it's
Oh,
nice because he's one of my favorite characters. But
so it was like
Yeah.
what was that like your most popular cosplay you've done or like one of them?
I think my most popular is probably a cross between, Catwoman, Spider Gwen, and Castiel at this point.
Spider Gwen was also nice. Very
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Yes, he was. Yes, your Spider Gwen was nice. That's what she was. It was really good.
Very
Okay.
cool.
So, oh yeah,
Well,
I wanted
that
to ask
answers one of my other questions. I was
what
gonna
was that?
ask which other non-anime and comic related cosplays have you done?
Oh well, there you go.
How long have you got?
We got
We got
time.
time. We got time.
You can go right ahead.
Okay, so my first cosplay was Misty from Pokemon. My
Your
second was
first ever
Spider Gwen.
cosplay?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
My second was Spider Gwen. My third was Catwoman. After that, it was Samus, Todoroki, which I didn't do justice, but I had to do it quickly for the Geek Out.
I didn't see Samus.
Um,
I need to look for that.
I did like a school uniform version of him. From there, I've done like Nightwing already. That's one of the reasons. Well, To be honest, Jason Todd is actually my favorite Robin.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Yes!
I
Let's
always
go!
wanted to do him, but I
Yes.
actually thought that I could pull off Nightwing, so I tried it, and surprisingly, a lot of people like it. Zorro, I've done Nami, I've done Sindri from the Thriller Bark arc.
Okay.
I've done a lot. I've done Dean Winchester and Castiel.
I gotta see the
Nami.
deal.
Her Dean is good.
Thank you. I always thought that. Well, I think I've been told once that I look kind of like a female Jensen Ackles, so
I could kind of see it.
You do.
I could kind
I
of
see it.
Yeah, yeah. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
and it worked. So there's that.
Oh,
Currently, my
Uh-huh.
last one that I just did was Android 18, but I haven't
Ooh.
posted it. I posted it on TikTok. I haven't posted it on IG yet.
I have to check it. I've seen a
TikTok
few.
so
I've seen
lucky.
a few of them. I've
Wow.
seen a few of them. Through with Bunny. Well, through the Geeko page, I've seen, because I saw when actually he was creating her Luffy costume.
Yes.
And of course, I've seen the bunnies and then I saw you. So that was pretty cool. I have to check it out then. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So outside of the Red Hood cosplay, which cosplay have you always wanted to do but you haven't got a chance to yet?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to do every version of Catwoman possible.
Oh wow.
That's like
Oh.
she's one of my all-time favorite characters.
Interesting. All right.
So like
Wow.
that is a unrealistic, probably never gonna happen, but goal of mine.
Mhm.
I have such a long list of things that I want to do.
Top three.
Because for instance, I've had this helmet since 2019.
Oh,
I haven't done anything with it,
you've been
partly
sitting
because
on this for a while.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
right before the pandemic. and stuff
cosplays
like
are
that.
expensive. So like if I see like a deal happening and it's like I know I want to do this character eventually, I'll buy a piece from it. That was definitely what happened here. Like my friend was selling it and I was like, how much are you selling it for? And it was like ridiculously low. I was like, I want it. 'Cause I'm gonna do it eventually. I'm gonna tell you the one that I really want to do this year that I've started getting pieces for is Strange Supreme from What If.
Oh, not just in time. You need to get that done before the movie comes out, and you should go
I
through
know we're
it.
asking a lot
Cosplay
of
is like,
Trying to do.
I know we're asking a lot of you.
If people want to help me, I have a wish list. I have a Ko-fi. I have a Patreon.
we need to post the
If you
wish
want to
list
help me,
yeah.
with the pod. We will definitely do the few. Let's guess SJ.
Send us those
Talk to
links,
Strange Supreme
girl.
cosplayers. We need to do that.
Great Supreme.
We're
That could
definitely
be
gonna do
lit.
that. Listen,
Oh
I can
man.
see it already. Oh, the
I'm
multiverse
excited
of
for
my
that.
places. The multiverse. I can. Oh my gosh. So, that's interesting. Cause I was gonna ask. So that means you're a big Batman fan, a DC fan.
So
here's
here's the thing. Y'all knew what it was like to grow up in the Bahamas in the 90s.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
didn't really have comics here for
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
If
Right.
you saw a comic, it was Batman or Superman.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are usually the ones that lean around.
And that's
For
why
me-
Batman's my favorite Superman.
Yep. For me, like I grew up watching the old Adam West show and Batman the animated series.
Yes.
So
Nice.
I'm definitely a Batman fan in that sense. Like I grew up watching it and it's probably the thing that I connected to the most. In recent years, as you grow older and you start to realize some things might be seen as problematic, I still have a deep love for the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But like I always say, like I grew up as a DC fan, and it's true because I do love more characters than just Batman in the DC universe. But I feel like it was a matter of exposure to see Marvel. I'm both. I'm not team this or team that. I go with what I relate to. And there are a lot of Marvel characters I relate to and a lot of DC characters I relate to. There's a lot of anime characters I relate to. There's a lot of Western cartoon characters I relate to. So long as it's a good story, I'm not Actually, I lied. I'm Team Sovereign Comics, which is the company that sponsors me.
Why?
Gotta get the plugs
That
in.
many
Get
things.
the
It's
sponsors
Team
out
Sovereign
there.
Wait a
Comics.
minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Reveal to
I
me
thought
this.
about it. But no, so long as it's a good story and a good character, I'm not like, I don't hate on people if they're DC fans. I don't hate on people if they're Marvel fans.
Right.
I definitely don't hate on you if you're a Sovereign Comics fan, because you're amazing.
Oh,
I've never heard of
What?
Sovereign Comics before.
yeah, I was just
let
about
me
to ask.
let me tell you about our Lord and Savior Sovereign Comics.
Okay.
So,
Let me get closer. Let me get closer.
I can
Come
actually
in,
bring
children.
you some of the comics because I have them here. I'm actually the distributor for Sovereign Comics in the Bahamas.
Ah,
Nice.
Yeah. So
So
it
you're
is
the
a comic
hookup.
company run by Tier Jackson out of Colorado. What happened was he saw my Misty cosplay and immediately, like the first Misty cosplay I put out on Instagram and was like, she would make an amazing Tectonica. And Tectonica is his character from a title called Stars. I am now the face of that character.
That's great.
Wow.
Oh,
I did
wow.
not know that.
That is the craziest,
crazy.
wildest, greatest thing that has ever happened to me by chance. And
Now I need to see the. I need to read the comic.
I
Yeah.
have one of the comics here if you want to see it. Hold on.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
That's very dope.
That's very cool.
That's very cool. And it
Yeah.
shows you that, get yourself out there and you don't know.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
Opportunity might come.
if you want to
Yeah.
cosplay and you felt like you always wanted to cosplay, just start it
Do
up.
it.
Take pictures, post it on the Instagram. Like we've said, my dress up
Buy,
daughter was like,
buy a
go and do
cosplay.
it.
Buy a cosplay
Yeah.
and get.
Mhm.
Let's go.
So, for instance, this is the comic that Tectonica comes from. That is her.
Ooh.
I like the art.
Very cool. Yeah, I like the art style.
What I love about his comics is they're very diverse. And so she is actually the leader. Her name is Siphon, and she's cosplayed by my friend Mutant Glue, who I mentioned before. She is the
Right.
official face of Siphon.
Okay.
And that was the really cool thing about Tears. He wanted to work with cosplayers. He wanted
That's
to.
good.
Yeah. Stars is like Gem in the Holograms meets A-Force. It's very cool. Like it's about a group of all female-led superhero team that are also rock stars. And it's just
That's
a very
interesting.
fun title. Very fun.
Nice. How many volumes does he have out so far?
So he has here's the thing. He has Cypher Team, Stars, Temple High. If you love Shounen, Temple High is the one you have to read. Ayan Mustigana, which is like a sci-fi title. He has 5 titles out, all issue 1s at the moment. Issue 2s, most of the issue 2s are coming out this year.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Are they all connected or they're like separate stories?
They certainly are connected.
Cinematic universe, I love
Oh
it.
boy.
I like that.
So they operate in Los Angeles, if I remember correctly. And it's called the Silverse, the Interconnected Universe. And you can read each title independently. You can do that, but they are interconnected.
Okay, so you just have like references that go back to different comics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Funny enough, I actually wrote a comic that's coming out with them.
Congratulations.
Ooh, congrats.
You do it every day.
I know, right? Like,
I am impressed.
out here just doing the whole thing.
Making moves.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I've
All from cosplay.
even more than cosplay, I've always been a writer. So
interesting.
Nice.
He knew that, and he always talked about like giving us the idea of like, at first it was just like, hey, if you ever think of a character, I'll put them in the comic. I was like, I have a character that I've had a story in my mind for years. He's like, oh, cool. Do you want to write it? I was like, excuse He's like, yeah, I'll let you
That's
write
so
it.
nice of him.
He's a very cool person. He's all about like empowering people who he sees something in, and I'm just thankful that however he found me on my cosplay that he did, because it's again the coolest thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, that's dope. I definitely have to check that out.
Me
Yeah.
too.
You said that you
Well, if you
distribute
would
them,
like
right?
to, yeah,
Yes.
if you would like to, I currently have issue 1 of Stars and issue 1 of Temple High in stock. I'm planning to get Cypher Team and Ayanmo Stigmata, which are his other titles, in soon. But so far I have Stars and Temple High. And again, if you
Yep.
like shonen, Temple High is perfect for you.
Well,
All right.
as Vicky would say, in spirit of her not being here, we're definitely the shonen tards of this podcast.
Yes.
So we will definitely,
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll definitely be checking that one out with haste. But that's definitely
Yeah.
cool. Like, you
Yeah.
really do a lot. I did not notice that. Like SJ, like you're really
I'm
you're doing a ton.
definitely
And that
sorry. Yeah, I'm
really
definitely. Oops. Javon, sorry, my bad.
good.
No, what did you say? What did you
No, I
say?
just gotta say, like, I've really gained much more appreciation for what you're doing for the community. For that.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that I'm thinking that I'm gonna come to the March event because I think Harum said that that's the anniversary, right?
Yes, actually it is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. At least
Yeah.
for in terms of public events.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
March.
So
Yeah.
could you bring issues of both of those for me because
I'll be there.
I
They were there
Yeah.
at the Geek Out. They'll be there. I have a vendor
okay.
table and everything, so you can
Oh,
That's nice.
just
Alright.
stop
okay.
by and I'll have some.
Yeah, I have a newfound
That's
appreciation for buying comics because I know in the States it's kind of a dying industry now because you could pirate everything. And
true.
so,
True.
Well, you know what's funny
You can also
is
read them online if you pay for
yeah.
well, yeah, that too,
yeah,
but
some distributors do
But you
offer
know,
some.
the way, as long as it's online, there's a way to pirate it, and people just
Yeah,
take
yeah,
that
that
out.
too.
That's
yeah,
why I'm a
That's
big advocate of support Shonen Jumps out.
yeah,
yeah,
because like
Support
these
is
guys
just
are
$1.99.
they're an
Yes.
indie. They're an indie
right,
comic publisher. They're not
Right.
Marvel or DC
Uh-huh.
with Disney
Yeah.
money. So
yeah,
it's very important to support
yeah,
like people who are
Mhm.
actually like just starting out, and
Very
yeah,
true.
especially
Very true.
when the quality is so good.
Yeah,
yeah,
the art
It is.
looks
yeah,
amazing.
Love
It
the
definitely
art.
does. It definitely does. It
And
just it
he's
gets
really about telling stories, like they're good stories.
I am a big fan
yep.
of a great plot that can capture you. So I'm definitely all
Mhm.
in for that. Without a doubt. Oh, it's another question again. I know it may be pressure, but I know that since we have the Jujutsu Kaisen movie that's coming out in March, are there any plans to do anything for that cosplay wise? Because I'm looking at it and say you would make a great Nobara or Maki. I,
Nobara for sure.
I will have to
Nobara
look.
for sure.
I'll have to look those up because I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen yet. And personally, I like to cosplay characters that I relate to. But
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a separate plan.
I also like taking suggestions, so I'll definitely look up those too. You said Nobara?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Jujutsu Kaisen. You may see similar. I think you may. You may.
I'm sure I've seen the character before and just don't know the name. You said there was another character too, Nobara and
Maki.
Yeah.
Maki. Cool. I will look those up for sure.
True.
In terms of cosplaying, maybe premiere will depend on certain things.
Mm. Okay.
All right,
That's
fair
fair.
enough.
That's fair. So the biggest question I wanted to ask, before we get into some more stuff, what do you what are your goal, like what do you want to see blossom from the cosplay community growing here? Like what would you like to see happen, and where would you like to see it be, like in years to come?
So for starters, before I started cosplaying locally, professionally, December of 2018. There was no cosplay community.
True.
And then as early as March 2019, we started doing the Geek Out publicly, like in public spaces, and creating an event out of it. Or Ashley did rather.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me to be the cosplay guest. And then the very next Geek Out, people started showing up in cosplay. That to me,
that's dope.
Was amazing. That to me was my vision at first. Like just seeing the amount of people that I see come to a Geek Out, see us cosplay, and then show up to the next the next Geek Out in cosplay.
Yeah.
I cry on the inside. Like
I can imagine.
It's very humbling for me personally to have been a part of people's, like when people say like I inspired them to cosplay, that means something to me. I'm still getting used to that idea of being seen as like an inspiration because it's kind of out of my comfort zone, but it means everything to me. In terms of my goal, or what I want to see from it, I'm so excited that it's grown to the level that it has. And I definitely want to do more collaboration because that was something that we got held back from with COVID. We had all of these big plans for these big shoots and we just couldn't do them because restrictions and all of that. So this year I'm hoping we get back on track with that. It is my goal to push the idea that you should be paying cosplayers for their time and their...
Yeah, I like that. Definitely, without a doubt.
That's just my goal, is to find a way to monetize and make sure that these people who put their heart and souls into their costume, and even in terms of like performing and providing an experience to other people, that people respect that.
Without a doubt. And it's just so interesting you said like how so many people started to come out cosplaying after so you did it. It's the anime community, and it's part of why I'm so happy we started doing this podcast, is because a lot of people just need to see that, hey, there's someone else here who's interested in the same thing I'm interested in, or they like a lot of the same. Like I've seen so many, it's interested in the past 2 years of people who've said, I wish that I had X friends who I can talk anime with and or have these kind of discussions with. So like it shows that deep down inside there are a lot of people who share an interest in something, but they don't feel comfortable, or they feel as though there has a judgment level to it. And seeing where anime is going here and how it's becoming, and just seeing so many people you've been, you watch, like even without like, you watch anime, like I didn't know you watched anime, like you're into anime, the point like we're having big discussions every Sunday, and it's like Anime Sunday is a thing, and it's like to see it's really a joy. It's really a joy to see so many people embrace something that's so dear to them, and like that they love so much, and having the freedom to express it with other like-minded individuals. So that's really dope. That's really dope.
Yeah.
I used to be one of those toxic people that was like, I used to get made fun of for this, and now everyone claims that they watch anime. And then I started to see it more from that perspective.
I think everyone's had that at some point.
At this point though, like being someone who is so community oriented, it's like it's amazing to see, because I feel like a lot of Bahamians don't allow themselves to really enjoy what they actually like. They only do what they think they're supposed to like.
Yeah.
And having that freedom and that safe space to be like, hey, I actually enjoy this thing, is freeing. I mean, cosplay for me is first and foremost a form of self-expression. That is how I express myself.
It is. I won't even lie. Dressing up as Miles was one of the funnest things I've ever done. Like it felt so great just to put on the costume and just to go out and just parade. Like it was that was legit my first time in any costume outside of, I guess, being a kid and just taking the mistake, you know what, I'm finally doing it. That was really that. It was a joy. It was joy. Even being in the competition, even when I didn't want to be in the competition, that was fun. I wouldn't even lie. It was so much fun. I had a great time, and I honestly can't wait to do it again. Without a doubt.
Miles in particular is such a great character.
He is.
I always love when I see Miles cosplayers because he's such a good character, and I'm so glad that we have him. But it's funny that you say that because Ringo, of all people, it will tell everyone, like she warns people, she's like, SJ is going to come to you and she's going to put you in the competition. You're just, that's how it is. To the point where this year I started being like, you have to sign up for it. I'm not going to come to you and push you in it. People are like really like, I can see like they're very uncomfortable with the idea. I don't push, but I did it initially because I wanted as much participation as possible. I wanted people to see that it's not a scary thing. But now it's more of like, if you want to, you can sign up for it. I'm not going to pressure you. I might beg once, but that's it.
But I was gonna say, sometimes people need that push. Some people do. They definitely do.
Some people are shy and they want to do it, but they're not sure. And I'm like, you can do it. I believe in you.
And then they realize
put your name down.
And then they realize it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Oh, it's something I wanted to backtrack. It's going back, and it's a little tidbit that I found to be so cool, and also like, yo, what? So, Steven, the cosplayer who did, category. I was having a bit of a conversation, and he was like, during the pandemic, he watched all of One Piece and Conan, and I was like, what? I'm like,
wow.
What is that?
I'm like, that is
One Piece is doable, but Detective Conan as well.
That's what I said. I was like, that's a
isn't Detective Conan like what 900? No,
Detective Conan.
It has more than One Piece.
I know.
One Piece is on past 1,000. So think.
Yeah, One Piece just hit 1,000.
Yeah.
So
so Conan is definitely over 1,000 episodes.
Yes. Then. So when I heard you say that he is very dedicated to the anime, I was like, yes, it shows. There's cosplay. It shows that that was definitely dope. I was like, yo, I'm like, yeah. You like what you're creating. I can definitely tell.
I still can't see how Conan could still be going on to this day. I still don't see it.
Every day I ask if he is not found.
It's like, why aren't you found yet?
Why?
Yeah,
I could have been knocked down in like 3 seasons.
Why do you still? No, that's not even that. Like, why do you still look the same age as you did from episode 1? That's my biggest question.
It's the Ash syndrome.
It is the Ash syndrome. It unfortunately is the Ash syndrome in so many ways. Oh, but SJ, it's been a pleasure, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys have any other questions you would like to ask before.
No, all of my questions got pretty much answered, to be honest.
Our resident Spectre goes.
Okay, I do have a question. Like, what is the budget like for? I mean, I guess it depends on what you're cosplaying as, but what would you say is a budget for a cosplay outfit?
For a bought one or a handmade one?
That really depends on you. Like it, and that's the thing that I keep telling people, like, because people they often ask, like, how can I get into cosplay? I'm like, well, you could use things that you already have in your closet. That's free.
That's true.
Because it doesn't have to be complicated. I know people who do what we call closet cosplay, and they make it look fucking amazing. Like, it just depends on what your skill sets are and what you want out of it. Personally, I had the goal of looking very professional because I wanted to be taken seriously here in the Bahamas, where we don't take that seriously. So I kind of push myself to get what I thought looked the best, despite whatever the budget might be. And because I was looking at it from a professional mindset, it's like I can't really worry about like what the price tag is. I mean, obviously, I don't like. I don't try to kill myself because I gotta eat and survive and stuff. But that was for me is like I would buy like, or it would if I bought like a nice cosplay, it would be a while until I bought the next one. You know what I'm saying? But it really just depends on you because you can get cosplays relatively easy on Amazon and they're not that expensive. But if you want them to look a certain way and like you go to Etsy or like people who even commission cosplays from people, those can get really expensive. So it depends on what you want to do and what your mindset is doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I remember you met. Sorry.
You can absolutely use either things that are already in your closet if they work for the character, or you can use materials like duct tape and feathers and cardboard like Steven does and still look amazing.
It's true. It's true. I know you mentioned you started making some of your own at some point. Which ones have you made?
Chitara was my first, the one that I made the first.
Chitara from Thundercats?
Something.
Yep.
Nice. I remember that cosplay. I do remember that cosplay.
That was the first cosplay I made. And then I made Tectonica.
Hey, so how was the experience of making your own cosplay compared to obviously just purchasing putting it on?
I don't like math, and there's a lot of math involved in making patterns. So that part sucks for me personally. But there's nothing that compares to like seeing something you thought of and put work into come to life. There's just nothing like it. Like I really enjoy, even if I get frustrated or whatever during the process, I enjoy like having the idea of, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then putting the work in and seeing it come to life.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I can imagine there's a different level of satisfaction to creating your own cosplay.
Yeah.
Versus mine, just to see your creation just come to life in your vision and your eye there, and just to like, oh, I really did that. Like, I really succeeded in making that. That whole eye there just blossom into what it is now. So, that's definitely cool. But yeah, I can't. That's a challenge. I can't see myself. I mean, like I said, we mentioned there's this anime called My Dress Up Darling. Again, I am definitely her from that anime. It's like I may have the vision, but I was like, if I try to sew and actually make something, like I am going to fail.
I don't think so. I think you're just overthinking it.
Maybe I am.
It just takes, and like most things, it just takes practice.
It's true.
And knowing your machine. So like I think that's the intimidating. That was the intimidating part for me. Is like, what if I fuck up the machine? But I didn't fuck up the machine, so it's all good. Yeah, it's really just having patience with yourself and practice.
All right.
Nice. But you know who I really I admire though are the ones who do the mechanical pieces.
Yes.
I admire. There is. I don't know if you remember though. You saw this. I remember there was. I can't remember which con it was, but I don't know if it was Blurred. I'm sorry. I can't remember if I'm saying it right.
Yeah, Blurred Con. I was there for that.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I knew. I don't know. I can't remember if it was this one, but there was a cosplay where this lady, she made like the pieces, the movement compared to, I forgot what the other one, but it was a cloth based cosplay, but to her and a lot of people was like, how did she not win? Like,
Yeah, that was
what is
BlurredCon. It
it?
was a whole
Okay.
controversy.
Yeah, it was going down, and I kind of was like, how did she?
But here's the thing.
So yeah, I guess that's another thing too. Like
Yeah,
what
like
goes into the competition aspect.
like all competitions are different and they all have different criteria, and if they don't tell you what that criteria is, then
That's messed up.
So
you know,
okay.
like, and again, like that's one of the reasons, like with the geek out competitions, like I tell you right off the bat what I'm looking for, what the judges rather are going to be looking for, because I tell them what to look for. A popular vote, that's entirely decided by the audience. We don't get involved in that.
Yeah.
I just want to know, how do y'all feel about this one? For best in show, it's mostly like who was the best performer, stage presence, overall like aesthetic look. For construction, that's about technical skill. How did it look well made? Is it like, can you see like the glue, the edges, all of that stuff? That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
With BlurredCon, because I knew some of the judges too, and they spoke about it afterwards, they did what they were told to do based on the criteria they were given. I can't fault them for that. There was the unfortunate racial issue involved as well.
Well, yeah, that was that as well. Yeah.
Especially because, like,
Which
as
is
a white person,
another topic. Because
having been at the con itself, nobody made me feel any type of way about it. And that was the really crazy part, is anyone who went to the actual con did not have that opinion. It was all people online who were like having this very inflated opinion about it. And it's like, I, on one hand, feel like, yeah, I kind of agree. I don't feel like you as a white person should probably have been in that competition. I just feel like that's putting yourself in a bad situation, considering what the con is called. But at the same time, it's like, I had a really great time there, and I don't want them to start being like, oh, you're not allowed to come, you know? So it's a catch-22, and like I sympathize with those who
see both
had,
sides.
I see both sides of it. And it's just unfortunate that it happened for many reasons, including just the fact that people thought like the other costumes were actually better made.
Yeah, because excuse my ignorance, but I've always, and when it came to cosplay, I always assumed like you mentioned, the technical aspect played a big part in it. So it's like seeing someone create that piece, and even going back to how I had reservations of being in the competition because mine was bought, like seeing someone create this amazing piece and seeing how many technical it was and how maybe accurate it was to the depiction of the character or cosplay. I thought that was a big factor. But now, like hearing you saying, like there's sometimes there are different things that judges look for depending on what it is.
From my understanding, there was more of a focus on technical sewing skills rather than builders.
Wow. Okay.
And here's the thing: the cosplayer, the one, I don't remember her name, she gave back the earnings, and somebody else.
Yeah, I saw.
So like, she actually looked like her actual costume looked like a very screen accurate card captor Sakura.
Yes, that
might have been something. That might have been something she got points for. I don't know, because I wasn't one of the judges. But like it's just those little things that if you don't know, then you don't know what exactly went into that. And like for me, I try to take all of that into account. Sewing, building, all of that. Again, because personally, I want everyone to feel like they have a voice. You shouldn't just like, and I'm not saying there was a bias or anything. I don't know, but I'm just saying like you do have to kind of be like, okay, how long did this take you? How much skill did this require of you, regardless of whether it's a build or sewing? Because sewing takes a lot of time.
And that's interesting though that you said that, because I never figured that sewing and building would be so separated.
Yeah. Because, for instance, I haven't had to build any big props. I've done some prop work because I did like a gauntlet for my Chitara, but like I haven't really. I'm actually kind of intimidated to do a build, but I have a goal in mind this year to do a build. So we gotta see how complicated it is, but they're completely separate skills.
Granted, yeah, you're right. I just never figured that there'd be so well, she sewed. In terms of like when the competition is, but we're looking for sewers, but like you said, it's important to let the cosplayers know what it is that you're looking for.
Now,
in the competition.
here's what I
Not
do.
to say that they didn't in that instance, or not. I don't know.
Here's what I do know, because that is something that they do tell you off the bat, is in order to enter the competition, you have to have made 80% of your cosplay.
Gotcha.
So that was true across the board.
Okay.
And it's possible that maybe she made 100% of the cosplay and some of the builders only made 80. Again, I don't know, but it's just a theory. And I don't really like to theorize because a lot of people.
No one really knew what happened.
I don't know. I will say BlurredCon was amazing, and I personally recommend it to any Bahamian that wants to go and have an experience at a con where you will be treated well, because it's weird in the States sometimes, and I feel like BlurredCon is very safe for us as Bahamians, especially Black Bahamians.
Okay, interesting. That's interesting. Because of that, I've always wanted to go to a con. I've been trying to. I feel like I would have went by now, but it's I've always wanted to, definitely, the Comic Cons, and then have the anime expos, and like you said, BlurredCon and different ones like that, the Dream Con and such like that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go and try it. So it definitely sounds like BlurredCon is your favorite of the ones you went to.
Definitely, especially because my friend Mutant Glue invited me. So like that was the first con I got to experience with a big group, and it felt like a cookout. I felt at home.
That's dope. Nice. So you haven't really had that experience in any other cons like that?
I went to, so my first con was Rhode Island Comic Con in 2019. And I went with one other friend, and it was amazing. Like all the cons that I've been to have been good. I haven't had a bad con experience yet, but there was something different about BlurredCon. It was just tight. And I attribute that to, because I come from the Bahamas and because the population is 80 to 90% Black, I personally felt more comfortable there, even though I'm white.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. I feel you with stuff. You definitely feel much comfortable when people you're used to or understand and such like that. So that's always dope. Yeah, BlurredCon has always been a dope thing to me. Especially when you look at, I guess, a lot of the things that are said, especially of cosplayers of color. So to see BlurredCon be a place where a lot of people can come together and not care about that and cosplay who they want, do it without any judgment of like, oh, you aren't, the right this and this, blah blah blah, whatever. It's always been good vibes. Like that's good, just good vibes. I've always seen it.
I'm actually trying to get a big 242 Cosplayer Nation group to go to BlurredCon this year, depending on their finances.
So, that would be definitely
nice.
I hope it happens.
I hope it happens too. That would be so dope.
Yes, but
you mentioned people who do like mechanical work.
Oh yeah, like that.
There was this one guy at Rhode Island Comic Con who did Prowler from Into the Spider-Verse. His name is Give Wave Studios, awesome. And he had like all the lights and stuff in his Prowler costume. It was
that's cool.
Yo, there's like
do that.
A Blue Beetle cosplay. I'd be ecstatic.
Blue Beetle is awesome.
Yo, that's
just fine boy right now.
Babe.
I'm I'm sorry. I mean, not really. I'm sorry, but still, yeah. But that mechanical work, that's different. So is one thing, but that mechanical work is that's so different. Like, kudos to them. Like, mad
Yeah.
props, respect. Like that that takes a different kind of dedication. I'll just say
It
that.
does.
So I can imagine just seeing them in person as well. Because
Yeah.
I've never seen a mechanical cosplay, so I can imagine seeing one in person and just seeing the details and time that goes into it.
Yeah, I really want to go to either Anime Expo or Comic Con. Like, that's always been a goal of mine to just get off
Yeah.
my bucket list. So
Yeah.
one of these days,
Yeah.
I can get done now.
Hopefully we can do it, guys. We can do it. We
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
Someday.
do it in this. You can do it as a pod.
Mhm.
We can do the pod.
Yeah, I'm saying go as a group.
Yeah.
It's so much fun
it's-
with other people. Go as a group.
Oh no, without a doubt.
It makes
Yeah.
it so much fun with it.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, it has to happen like that.
But where's BlurredCon exactly? Is it?
So here's the thing. It's in Virginia, but if you go up, you should go to the DC airport because it's 5 minutes away from DC, the DC airport.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Takes a mental note.
Make a note. Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Takes a deep mental note of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely have to check out one of them. But yeah. So SJ, thank you, because I learned a lot that I did not know about cosplay. And definitely cosplaying here and a lot of the work that you're doing along with others and collaborating. So like I said, like I mentioned on the pod, it's awesome just to see anime community just grow in all aspects of just enjoying the shows, from being just cosplay your favorite characters, and everything. Content creating your own mangas, everything.
Bahamians have loved anime for a long time. We just didn't have a community, and now we have a community now.
I think it was the Brawly movie when Fusion first brought that here. Like,
I still don't remember Brawly movie was in theaters. I still don't remember that. I honestly don't remember
you need
that.
to walk down the street like.
It's like that memory is just blocked from my brain.
But no,
I honestly don't remember that.
That was my favorite experience in Fusion, next to Endgame, to be honest.
Was I in a coma? It came out the same year as Endgame?
No.
Did it? No,
no, okay.
No,
sorry.
It was like Fusion. That was like Fusion was still new.
Fusion was
very new, and then they brought the Brawly movie over. But the reason that was so great to me is just to see
how much people show up.
And to see the effort they placed behind it. They're playing the music in the theater. Parents brought their kids dressed as Goku, and that was the first time I was like, oh shoot, like y'all like Adam, you never did all this stuff. You're in your own groups of people who enjoy anime, but that's a small pocket, that's a subsection. But to really see people come out because Dragon Ball, like, just to see the excitement come from the internet to now is at Fusion. It was like, oh, y'all really out here, like, for real, to get in the theater and be like, oh, y'all really out here, like that. April, I'm so sad that you don't remember that. Like, you didn't know that.
What year was this? What year was this?
It really was.
Honestly, I think I only brought it out for like 2 nights or something.
I think so,
Originally, they did, because Fusion wasn't sure of how well it would do yet. And then when they saw the massive turnout, they extended it.
Oh, okay.
So that's what happened.
Year was this?
Year was I don't.
It would have been 2019 because I started cosplaying in 2018 and I did Android 18.
Okay, so I was in Nassau, but what happened to me?
He wasn't. Wasn't into nothing.
I don't know.
You were slapping up people. I was trying to be nice, but it's like, you were
I
slapping up
don't know
because it's
what's
like
going on. I honestly
Confusion
don't know
posted that.
what's
It's
going
like,
on.
oh, the Brawley movie is coming. Like, what? Because that was like the first anime movie to actually come here
I
since the
honestly don't
Yu-Gi-Oh
remember.
movie, I think.
Yeah, that's the Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
And it was like, everyone's like, yo, the Brawley movie's coming. Like, she was the Brawley movie. It was like, trickle it.
Yeah,
Gotta
I was
get it. Like,
dead excited.
was like real, like anticipating. Okay, the tickets are on sale. Get your tickets. What we see? It was a listen.
I honestly don't remember this.
It was a big thing. It's like, and
You
just to
think
see,
Doctor
like,
How
Strange?
you don't
Doctor
remember this
Strange
speech?
exists? Do you think Doctor Strange exists and I made him erase my memory or something of
may
it?
have April may have happened.
Did I
That
have a
must
bad
be it.
experience?
That must be it.
Some would make you forget the Brawley movie experience. Like,
Have I repressed it?
was it not a good experience for you,
The
April?
movie was great though. Like, why
I
would you
don't
suppress
You
it?
want, it was, but you want to talk about it, April? Like, maybe we're here for you.
I
But
don't
it's okay.
remember.
I know what happened, April. I know what happened. You saw that Gohan wasn't in the movie, so you didn't want to watch it.
That makes so much sense. That's
That's
yes. April does not
probably
want to
it.
watch
That's
the next
probably
movie because Gohan. We will not
Are
be
you
like
are you a Gohan fan?
I
all of us
am.
are.
Y'all are so
Yeah.
rare.
Listen,
We're still
even
holding on.
though my boy down bad, his time is coming in superhero,
I don't
and I
believe
will
that.
be there day one to watch it. Okay.
It's false hope. It's
I
false
refuse
hope.
to be
Sorry.
lied to once
False
again.
hope.
I'm sorry. My boy, I love him to death. Akira Toriyama, I love him to death. He forgot Launch was a character.
Oh,
in
yes, he
Dragon
did.
Ball.
That is yes. That was
Yup.
Akira
Such a
Toriyama.
good character.
I have no faith that he
No.
will remember Gohan as a good character.
He's
None
not.
whatsoever. Ever since I
I'm
heard
telling
that,
you that. I'm telling you now
I
that
got faith
trailer
today.
footage.
I got faith.
He's gonna power up. He probably might win a little battle or two against the minions. Then he's gonna get bodied, and then Pan's gonna come and save him.
yes, exactly. Just I was gonna say it. Pan is going to
You gotta have
the
faith,
savior.
April. You have to believe.
I've been
gotta
burned too many
believe.
times. I've been
I
burned too many
refuse
times.
to be lied. Do you remember in Super, they had Gohan literally state,
Oh, don't remind
The
me.
whole friggin'
"You ate
Don't
my own
Don't
form."
remind me.
Where is this form? Where is this new form?
Remember when he get beat
Where
from
is
the when he get beat from the freezer going, and then man,
the
that
worst thing Akira
was-
Toriyama did was succumb to pressure and let them not make Gohan the new MC of the series.
Gohan
That was
was a
the worst thing
successor.
he
It was
did.
all
He
set up
succumbed
for
to all
that.
the Goku fans. Is like, we need him back. No, you were supposed to let them be mad and just bring Gohan. That's like Gohan.
Gohan was dropping bodies since he was like what 4, 5.
Where's my team Gohan?
Yeah,
Where's the Gohan that unlocked his potential and came back down and had the biggest confidence fighting Boo?
I still
Where's
love
that
that
Gohan?
self fight. I still love that self fight to this day, baby.
Even though it's
That
not
self fight
canon,
was
where's the
amazing.
Gohan that fought Ojak?
Listen, oh my god.
I'm done.
This thing Gohan was supposed to be everything, and then they just turn him into a jobber. Like, I thought I was watching WWE. Like, what this is?
Certified librarian.
He went from Goku Jr. to Chi-Chi Jr.
Yes.
Real talk.
That's the most accurate depiction I've heard.
Real talk. Oh
the
man,
most accurate depiction I have heard.
That hurt.
Literally
That hurt
went.
really
That's literally what happened. Literally what happened.
Right.
And now Piccolo is training his daughter.
Yeah,
Like that could be.
that's life.
Why? You could have. You were always smart, Gohan.
You could imagine. Could you imagine if they'd actually let Gohan be the successor? Could you imagine how awesome Dragon Ball Z could have been? And then I would have appreciated Pan even more if I see Gohan like handing off the mantle.
Yeah, and it would have made Goku's character even more interesting because he was now taking on that mentor role to his son from the other play. So even when you could have brought him in like every now just as a treat or a surprise, but still have Gohan be the main MC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such ruined potential. Breaks my heart.
Unfortunately.
Like I had hope. When they brought Mystic Gohan, like in the Boo saga, I was like, oh my god. And then Gohan just got sucked up. I was like, no.
He completely jobbed that whole situation. It was I don't know what that was.
My boy.
Like he did the exact same thing he did to Cell to Boo. Like they tell this man, stop playing with these niggas, stop wasting time, get the job done. And because he was trying to make this man suffer,
I almost like that sadistic side of Gohan though. I
I
miss
mean,
that.
it's cool, but at the same time, like
I know,
you
get
gotta get the
that.
job
The
done.
trash talking, but still, the trash talking going was very cool. I must say, it was definitely cool. I loved it. But where is, you know what's even worse? Where is the Gohan in the future who mentored Trunks?
Oh my god.
He
And we
did,
don't
that's
even
what
get
it
that
is.
shit. Like you
No,
literally,
let me get
and
that.
the horrible part is they brought Trunks back, and it's like we don't even get to see the Gohan that fought Android 17 and 18 with one arm.
I know.
We don't. Why?
Breaks my heart. My heart breaks.
Why you bring
every
this up? Now I
single
gotta
time.
end this part. Like I gotta end this part with a broken heart. Why do you do that?
I wasn't prepared for this turn of events. Like,
No,
I know, right?
Is
Just
this
come out of
because I
nowhere.
make fun of Hunter X Hunter all the time? Like what's happening? Why did you do this to me?
Depression.
Don't
Depression.
worry. I'll believe for all of us when
It's
this
not
movie comes out.
Oma. When Gohan gets bodied and saved by Pan, don't come crying
Don't
to
worry,
me,
I
okay?
will be
I can
right
slip
there.
my
I will
wrist.
be
Don't
right there
worry.
in that
I can
same
slip my
looking at
wrist.
him. Like see this. This
But
is what you wanted.
I will believe.
You got it.
I will believe.
I'm not wasting my money on that.
I was like, this is what you wanted.
I have faith in my boy. They
That's the
say
only
Gohan
scene
is the
Gohan
main
being
character in this movie. That's what they said,
lies.
and I believe them.
they
Exactly.
Yes.
They
And you know,
Quotations,
like
yeah.
the poster, I think one of the promotional art, they have Gohan front and center. It's like, don't lie to
They're
me.
lying to us. They're trying to tug on the heart to all Gohan fans to get out to watch this movie in anticipation that Gohan is going to do something just to
They're
crush
not
us.
gonna
No,
catch me.
no.
They ain't gonna
Our
catch me.
viewers, I'm going into this movie knowing that Gohan is going to do absolutely nothing.
that's
I'm
like
just no
when
way.
people and I say this as a Vegeta fan. That's like when people is like, "Oh yeah, Vegeta go win this time," and
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh, that's another story.
Vegeta's so
Resurrection of
I
F
do
was the ultimate disappointment for me, babe. They advertised that movie as Vegeta being the one to finally kill Frieza. And
You
then
know what's so disrespectful? At the very moment he was about to do it, we're gonna
exactly.
rewind time. You thought, and now Goku's gonna do it. I'm like, yo, fuck, what is going
I
on?
hate it here.
Why can't Vegeta win once?
Just once.
Exactly, man.
Because he's the
I say that. I say that, and it's kind of funny because Android 18 became my favorite because she beat Vegeta.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
And Hong Kong
Wow.
bro break his arm, boy.
I love that scene so much.
Yes.
The androids put fear into all of them. They're the only thing that can kill Goku. They kill Goku with
She do that kick and then you hear that arm go.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great arc. Oh, God,
Yeah.
awesome memories.
Memories.
The last time Dragon Ball Z was flawless.
Man.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Outside of the Goku Black arc, I really did like the Go. That was a nice touch. That was a nice ringer to.
I hated that because it was the end. They flop in the end.
I mean, yeah, but to see
my thing about the Black Goku saga. My thing about the Black Goku saga is that they dump Goku down so much that you tell me that Goku don't know what a kiss is.
All of Super, they dumped Goku down much.
But
so I never kissed my wife before.
you have 2 children.
No, we're not getting into that. We're not gonna get into that.
That's like the Batman thing. Remember?
That's Akira. Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up. Don't bring it up. We could spend a whole another hour talking about that. No.
Oh, that's your boy.
But like that is Akira Toriyama's style of writing is gags.
So
like
stupid.
It doesn't necessarily make sense to the plot, but it's a funny joke.
So recently, recently in another group of ours, a lot of people didn't know that the characters in Dragon Ball were puns on a lot of different things. So they had Mars. Amar was one of them. They had a whole breakdown. It's like, oh my god,
I was sick to my stomach. Like,
Brody's
can you thoughts? Like when I learned what their names meant in English, I was like,
Yeah,
why?
they're vegetables.
Freezes
And then
Ginyu Force or Jerry
Goku's children named after foods.
Yes, Gohan is rice.
Gohan is rice.
Yeah.
Because all Goku thinks was food. And Pan is bread.
Pan is bread.
And guess what? Akira Toriyama did that mostly because he wanted to remember the characters. So he just made them puns.
That's powerful.
Wow. He's just like, I'm just gonna give you a puns. So when I think, oh yeah, that character. Oh yeah. So clearly, Akira Toriyama does not like rice. And that's just,
he has a bad rice boy. He has a bad tasted rice.
Or vegetables.
It's just like Horikoshi. You know, it's just like Horikoshi, who has a thing for a thick woman.
That's not a bad thing, though.
No, but like the fact that he brings these thick women, he beats them down.
Listen.
He loves thick women, but he has a very bad.
We don't need to go.
He loves thick thighs. We don't get love from
We're about to be here for 2 more hours. Once again, SJ, we loved having you on the podcast.
Thank you.
As our first official guest.
I'm very honored to know that, and thank you for letting me be your first guest.
And it was an honor having you because this was.
I think the bar is set pretty high now because the stuff that we learned, and then just caring about your accomplishments and feats. That's next level. I hope, like. I didn't expect this.
The comic aspect was like the
final
we understand. You flexed on us. It's cool.
Yeah.
I gotta earn my brand ambassador.
That's right.
Listen. When you do great stuff, it's let people know.
Let's shine.
That's my thing. Is like I would not be working with them if I didn't fully believe or enjoy the comics. I'm a writer, so like I know what I like in stories. This guy, he writes great stories.
Yeah, like I said, we're definitely gonna when we're definitely
definitely coughing that. Yep.
By far. But yes, we like I said, going on, we learned a lot about cosplay, and I hope like everyone who's listening and who's gonna watch this is like, if you've ever had the idea for a cosplay, I hope this encourages you a bit more to be able to express yourself. Go be your favorite anime character. Just go run up and down and take photos.
Yeah. You do not have to do anything expensive, or you don't need like a budget. You can do it relatively inexpensively, just depending on what it is you want to do. Look up cartoon characters who have very simple designs and emulate it with something in your closet. Doesn't mean you have to always do that, but that's a way for you to start.
It's absolutely. So if you want to do that, also shout out to Geeko. Go do it and be comfortable around other people who are doing it.
Yep. Last Sunday of every month.
There you go. Last Sunday every month, you can just go be comfortable. Go get your feet wet. Let SJ force you into a cosplay competition. You know, you will be right on your way. Sorry.
Anything else?
I'm making you sound like a tired on this.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because all of the cosplayers in the group will tell you the same thing. That's awesome. Basically how I made them enter the competition, and they all now do it of their own free will.
It works. Bullying works.
It works. And they love it, so I don't mind. They've been threatening to make me a world's #1 cosplay mom mug, and if they do, I will cry. Even though it's important that y'all think of it. I will cry.
Hey, you'll be alone. That's right. I'm sure that's a song. That's right. So do you before we wrap up some more, do you want to shout out your socials so people can follow you? Don't want to grab your stuff, what you're doing?
Shameless plug time. I'm on Instagram as SJ Slays Cosplay. I'm on Facebook as SJ Slays Cosplay. On TikTok, I believe it's just SJ Slays, as well as Airtime, which if you would like, you can come on over to my room, which is called SJ Slayer Bunker. And that is where we do TikTok Thursdays. So if you wanted to try out cosplay, you can let me know in the chat room. Just type out, hey, I'm trying to get into cosplay. I might let you on stage so that we can help you, you know, find something in your closet or try out makeup looks, whatever you want to make a cosplay of your, you know, of your desire.
Nice. Well, see, there you go.
Awesome.
There you go. I'm expecting to see many cosplayers.
Yes, that is a good
Honestly,
way
you watching this right now, listening to my voice. I'm talking to you.
that is a very good way to get your feet wet.
Yeah.
If you're not ready for a geek out, but you should definitely come to it.
No, definitely got to geek out. Like either way, like I said, it's a place where a lot of people who are into anime, gaming, and all of that gather. So you can definitely find your niche, find where you're comfortable, and find people who are interested in the same thing as you. So 100% definitely check. I encourage anyone who's into that stuff. Check out Geek Out. Definitely, they're doing great things with that.
If you are interested in reading either Stars issue 1 or Temple High issue 1, those things that we've been talking about from Sovereign Comics, you're more than welcome to find me on any of my socials and be like, hey, I would like a copy of this, and I will get it to you free of charge for delivery, at least. Free delivery.
How much are the comics?
Of course.
How much are the comics?
Yes. $10.
But there you go.
Not bad.
$10 and you get yourself a comic that has inspired by SJ. Mm-hmm. There you go. That you got me. And with that being said, also follow us on the Otaku Summit on Twitter, the Otaku Summit, and on the Solid on our YouTube page where you will see us and much more podcasts like this, and in our Discord with the Solid where we usually post along in our handles, and come and chat with us, hang out, talk about anime. We can even discuss more, even if you don't want to even contact us and say, hey, I'm interested in cosplay, we can direct you straight to her and be like, the perfect place for you, the perfect place. So Ashley, with that being said, we have a thing on the part at the end of each part, because it's the Otaku Summit, which is, I don't know if you watch Naruto, which is a play on the Okage. There you go. Which is a play on the Okage Summit. So, in the spirit of that, we always end the pod with a poof. So, yes, as our first guest, we would like you to join along in our poof.
Yay!
How do we accomplish this?
We just say it. We just say it. And we just let the imagination flow that you just disappear in a part until we eventually are able to. We're done. So, with that being said, thank you everybody for listening and watching. This has been episode 26 of the Otaku Summit, and we are out.